Hello guys, welcome to the Let's Excel show. I'm your boy Excel.
I'm Jade.
Yo, Jade _ Lia on IG. You know the dog. Yo, my homie. Yo, it's been a pleasure.
Nice.
Yo, 20 years?
20 years.
20
20 years plus.
20 plus, right? Because it's
Junior
like
high school is what, 14?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yo,
Wow.
and yo, I'm about to 37. Yo,
Yo, me too.
yo, we 30.
When's your birthday? Isn't
Next
it?
week
Yeah, this.
on the 19th.
Wow, that's wild.
That's wild that you were like, oh, yo, like you kind of remembered a little bit. She was like,
you was,
this is the
February.
month.
You and my mom. That's why. Wow.
When's Jan and shit?
Why did I think your birthday was tomorrow? The 12th.
That's so corny, motherfuckers. If my boy's birthday's on the 12th, so like, shout out Chris for his corny ass birthday. Yo, last week I actually said, yo, happy birthday. Thinking it was on the 5th.
Bro.
And yo, he was tight.
My best friend's birthday yesterday. I totally forgot.
Yo, me?
Crazy.
Nah, that's
On the drive here, I'm like, what's the day? What's the date? The number. And it's like the 11th. I'm like,
wah, you fucking melted. Like, yo, that melting smiley emoji.
I've been talking all week with her, so it's all cool.
Nah,
It should be good.
alright,
It should be
so
good. I've been talking all week with her, so
You did good with that.
that's a bad friend.
Yeah, yo, cheers to being bad friends. But we still love him though. We still love him. Yo, Jay, yo. Like, I know you in Jersey now, but you know how these streets are out here. What kind of wild shit you been seeing out here, man?
I could start from childhood.
Talk about it.
Childhood, I remember 48 Park,
Yo,
and I was looking out my window, and that was around the time we were in junior high school, and they had that gang initiation time with the Bloods, Crips, all that stuff. Had like this one kid, he was getting initiated. It was like 50 dudes on him, just beating his ass. Like, just beating him down. I'm looking out my window, because my window was right there by the park. So I'm like, Mom, call the guy. They're going to kill him. But that happens so frequently at the park.
wow. I never knew that
I've seen
shit
a
was
lot of things at that park. My house was right there. We shared the same gate. So I've seen a lot of stuff in that park. I've seen my most traumatic one, I would say, is seeing my mom in a shootout.
Oof.
A drive-by.
Nah.
So you know about that entrance of the park.
Yes.
Somebody was coming out of that. She's going to go coming back from getting milk from Hero City. Mm-hmm. They driving by on my block, and they shoot, right? When my mom they like crossing paths. He's coming out, and my mom's like this. So my mom hits the floor and like rolls under the car. And I'm like, screaming out the window like, no, it's this crazy. That's the craziest, wildest things to me.
Yo.
It's just, that's your neighborhood. You know everybody. Everybody knows each other's parents. Everybody knows each other, and it's stuff like that still happens.
Yo, man, yeah, like that's the
like,
shit is, yo.
And that wasn't the first time. I've seen it at least good 3 times.
Oof.
With my mom in the middle like that. So I think that's why I was like, I gotta get out of here.
Yo, it does that shit, but it built you to be tough and shit, and it like,
Oh, yeah.
yo, that's the kind of shit that is like makes you stronger
Right.
instead of just wilting on it. But yeah, shit, like I love it. I go out there like,
I can't front. I love Hunts Point.
yo, I was so jealous of you as a kid because, like you said, you was right next to the park, so your backyard is a fucking playground, and like we're out here 8, 9 years old. Me and Steve living on the same building, and like we can't walk to 48 without motherfucking moms like with a correazo or a chancleta ready for us.
Yeah,
right
I didn't
there.
see you at 48 Park like that. Sometimes, but not like when we play ball and stuff.
Yeah, but we play ball like
And
as
then
a
it was like,
group
all right,
and
see you
shit. Deuces, and I'm like, oh, Jay's getting nice, and I'm here fucking playing Mario 3.
I lived in that park.
Of course,
Literally. It's changed now completely.
it's nicer though. It looks good though.
Oh, yeah, with the
Glass backboards.
weightlifting. Oh, they got glass backboards.
Yeah, they
They didn't do us like that.
Yo, you gotta take a drive out there, bro. We gotta shoot. We gotta shoot around. Not bang bang shoot, but we gotta shoot around one day. Like, don't tell nobody.
Oh, wow. The last time, because I was substituting at 48 school. When I came back from playing pro ball, I started substitute teaching. So I substitute teach for like about 2 years, but then I just didn't like the administration there. So I had to go. It was getting too emotional for me. 'Cause the kids in there were like some real deal kids that had some like issues. Like I had a student who was bipolar schizophrenic.
Yeesh.
What? I didn't even know that could even combine. But when you find that out, and she was 6, little girl was, it was intense.
I'm sure.
And then when you try to go to administration to like, she needs help, like real help. You're like,
And that's the shit that, like, you see, that's the shit that, how are we gonna like cultivate good people if we're not starting from the foundation?
Right.
It's always from the ground up. So it's like once you see some shit like from the jump,
and bro, that was our teacher. I don't know if you guys even.
You're like, man.
Yeah, I could go into deep, but that was the heartache for me. It was like growing up. These are my teachers. Now I'm working with them, and it's like, wait, it's really political in here. Like it's like it's like, no, you have to say something. But eventually they did, because I'm like, you got to do something, because it's becoming a thing. Like she's not the only one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm sure.
And it's getting overwhelming in the school. So it's like you got to take those steps.
For sure. Like, and then we don't have the resources for anything to be better out there. Like, like I go and
it's rough for these kids out here, man.
For real.
You understand.
Absolutely. Like we out here in District 8 and you feel like, we feel like it's the Hunger Games.
No,
you feel like it's some shit.
Though, like it really is though.
It really is, because it's like that shit separates you from like a grant that motherfuckers getting in a better spot than we do over on our end. So like, it's like,
and we came from that.
Yeah, and we fucking
and we did it. It's possible. So that's why it was even more upsetting, because it's like you guys were like our teachers. Okay, so what's up?
Yeah.
Now that I'm older, look, what's up? You got more ammo, right? So what's up? Let's do something. And it wasn't that. And I guess they tired. I don't know. Maybe people be tired.
That's a burnout.
And now it's our. Now I took it as now I've got to put this weight on my shoulders because I don't like it.
Yeah.
If you don't like, okay, you don't care about it enough. I do though. So that's why I had to get myself together, because that substitute teacher fucked me up. Like it opened my eyes to the shit that you just as students we don't see what the teachers go through. Mm-hmm. And then you think like a teacher hates you or whatever, but they go through the same shit we going through, man.
Yo,
it's political.
For real, it's like because you think about it, it's like you're one of one. And they're dealing with 1 of 30. You're like, hey, you're not help fucking with me, man. Like, what's going on?
Yeah, no,
it's like, yo, I'm fucking with all. Like, I gotta give each due diligence, and it's hard. It's really hard, and you're like, you feel for teachers. Teachers are the biggest heroes out there, especially the ones.
My mom is my number one.
Yo,
I've never, just because she's my mom, but my mom as a teacher has displayed so much. And now she's the chapter leader for the United Federation of Teachers. She's the chapter leader for her area, for that Bronx area. So she's the one that's like advocating for them. So seeing her do that, it's like, okay, I got somebody like I could follow.
Yo, congrats to her, and like, good
she's gonna do it, and we're gonna do big things. Like we want to do a lot of things, but we need, you need that foundation. You need that money. Money makes everything move.
Yeah. Money and what's that called? And connections. Mm-hmm. You got to know your people and
so
shit.
That's why it's important to network.
Absolutely.
Because a lot of people want the same things, but they don't know how to go about it.
Yeah.
But collectively, as a group, you can achieve something.
For sure.
Right? Like, there's a lot of things. Like I've learned. I was in the real estate field. I've seen multiple people, friends, team up. We're gonna kind of like buy these 2 big houses in a college area. Give it to these kids, in and out, area that's constant flow. Now they're taking off the whole block. Collectively as a group, I think we should do that.
Yeah.
That's the reason why, things go so far with, other people than like us in the hood. We don't think like that sometimes. Like we just, let me do it. Let me do it. Mm-hmm. And it's always I. Let me do it.
Like, it depends on how you channel that energy.
Right.
Your energy was valuable.
Right.
So I always feel like, for instance, like myself, I would give everybody my energy, like, and it would be like a little bit absurd how much I'm giving out, because I'm like, yo, you could do that, da, da, da. And like, of course, I believe in it, because if I say like I believe it, like I'll tell you, if some shit ain't for you, some shit ain't for you. Like,
not for real.
Yo, you're supposed to be like that. So I go and I'm here like, all right, yo, you could do this, you could do this, you could do this, and then people don't do it, and I'm like, you know what? It's okay if I take a step back. Like I'm putting too much. I don't know if I'm putting too much pressure, or it's just like, I'm just
out,
like,
yeah.
you know, I'm like,
It'll come to you.
or hopefully, or like, you know, I'm talking on deaf ears now because like I talk too much, and it's like.
But at the same time, you could say but so much, but at the same time, you heard it. You'll get there. Mm-hmm. Sometimes people, you could see something for someone or for yourself.
Yeah.
But you're personally and internally and not ready.
Yeah.
And I went through that, I think, all my life with a lot of things, and now I think I've been at my lowest. But me bringing out my own brand, doing the stocks, joining groups, that's what I'm going broke for.
Yeah.
My last dollars are going to something that I can learn from and then I can make money from. I'm not going to spend it on gear. I'm not spending that. Like, I'm not that kid anymore that buys Jordans and all those type of things. Like, I'm not a kid. Like,
I'm spending my money on Sunny NYC. Yeah, I don't care.
Like, oh yeah, spending money on Sunny NYC.
I was like, how dare you? I was like,
that's the only thing I'm wearing.
Yo,
right here.
That shit is fire, bro.
And this, you know, I wear things that speak for itself. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna wear this hat because I'm a part of this group. It's called the Well Squad. I came into stocks. I don't even say stocks. I would say cryptocurrency.
That's how you got you like eyes open and shit.
Yeah. So,
all right. So
Nicole's brother, her twin brother, had told me about the Dogecoin. And I just started putting money into it. Like, he sold me on it. I really didn't know shit about it. You know, stocks and cryptocurrency to us kids.
That's shit is like fish out of what? Nah.
And I know why though.
You know what it is though?
I know why, because we really could get this stuff.
Yeah.
We really get this stuff.
You know what it is though? Is that like we're so used to consuming as a whole community. So people are thinking about, oh, okay, iPhone's out. What's the new features? Oh, that I needs that. Like I needs that new one. It's like it is what it is. That's just how we're programmed. We're not thinking about producing. We're not thinking about the money or the things behind the thing to make it work for us. So you're talking about stocks, right? Like in the beginning, like did you like I'm gonna hit you with some shit and then like I'm gonna ask you a question. So like did you get in on that fucking like do you do options?
Yes.
Okay, dope. Awesome. So did you jump into like AMC and GameStop
funny.
and all that shit?
So I started with the cryptocurrency, right?
All right.
So Dogecoin, I started just throwing my whole paycheck into it. I'm telling you, this is a heartbreaking story too.
Okay, shit.
Throwing money.
I was like, get the napkins, Christy.
Bro, no, serious. Why? So listen. So I'm throwing it away. I'm just throwing my money in it because I really believe in it, and I'm watching it. I'm like, this makes sense. I get into stocks, you know, books, all that type of stuff. Start joining this group. Learn from the guy Chris, who's the founder of this group, Chris Johnson on IG. You can find him.
Dope.
But so then I get into stocks and the whole AMC thing is going. I am in recovery mode because I had a bad car accident.
Damn. Sorry.
I was out for 6 months. So brain traumatic. Like it was a 3-car pileup right down across Bronx. It was bad. Car totaled, everything. So at that time, I was literally like home, bedridden, losing my fucking mind. Honestly, I was like, I need to do something. So I get into stocks. I'm learning stocks. I jump into that AMC. I pay my first options call for $55.
At the time, where was it at that 55?
It was starting off low.
Okay.
Right? So I'm like, let me just jump into this. This looks like it's going to go up. Jump into it. I'm like, I'm learning. So then I'm getting scared, so I'm about to pull out. But then I'm like, let me just go into it. Let me add another contract. So I got that one, another one. And then I went up $1, just $1 at that time. So that's like, what, $111 or whatever? Mm-hmm. I would say within 5 minutes, I hit 11K.
Your eyes was lit, right?
Bro.
He was like, he put miracles on me.
What? I was like, God. Wait, what? Cash is out. But I could have hit, the kid that did this, he bought a Lamborghini off that one option plate. Cash. So I could have went up to like probably 20, 25. Right? But I was like, fuck it, I took my wins. 11K is crazy in 5 minutes, first of all.
Absolutely.
And I'm like, I'm never going back to work now. I made up my mind. I'm not going back to work. But I did. End up going back to work, whatever. But I still was doing that. I put everybody on my job onto stocks, including my boss. And that's how I was just working at it. I still am. Shoot. Like I messed up recently this week on SPY calls and SPY puts. So like I killed my portfolio on that.
Shit.
But, I wasn't jumping into the earnings and stuff like that. People are bugging out and losing money like that. But with stocks, I suggest that people really look into it like us, because there's a reason why they didn't show us in school how to do stocks.
Because they need to keep us as workers.
There's kids in this group. There's kids in this group that are having midterms. They're talking to us in the group chat, in the Discord, right? And it's like, oh, I'm taking a midterm right now, but jump into this. I promise it's going to go up. I'm watching the charts right now on my laptop at school. 17, 15. I'm 36. These motherfuckers is making 20, 30 racks sitting in their classrooms. What are we doing? What are we doing?
And it's dope because it's like they in it now, because now it's embedded. Now it's in their DNA now.
Yeah.
So that's a beautiful thing. So now it's just like the foundational shit is bottom up. Like now these kids, like because they soak up shit so much quicker than us and shit. Depends on people. I'm
talking to kids who are millionaires, and I'm learning from them, and that's okay with me.
It's awesome.
It's like one of the most, like, to me, they're inspiring, because it's like some of these other people are like, they're older than me, they're younger than me, but most of them are younger than me, and they're doing this. They're hitting. I'm talking about they're making money, but this whole group here in itself is investing, budgeting, finance, e-commerce, all those type of things, like health. It's not just stocks. So that's why I mess with this group. A lot of other people, all these other Discords, they're just the stocks. These people, they help from budgeting, 401k, everything you could possibly think about in your life, from, therapy, all that type of stuff. We have people, it's a community.
It's more like, it's not only the finances, wellness, it's wellness.
Everything. So that's why I stay with this group.
No, that's fire. That's dope.
Yeah, I make sure I pay that monthly fee.
They earned it, right?
Yeah, they earned it.
I see that.
It's making me money. And not even that, I'm learning a hell of a lot compared to then when I went to college.
I hear that shit. Like the shit I fucking like with stuff like that. Like I learned through just reading a lot. Mm-hmm. Like anytime there's news about something new, I just read. So there was like
sound like me, man.
Yo, 40.
There's a reason why we was best friends.
Yo, it was out here like I look better. Like I was like, yo, when people with the right frame of mind to just like do something together, it's powerful.
Right.
So like that's why we're here. So for instance, like so I go and like I read like about a study about like I always think about the mind. Like the mind is something that's like it's so
delicate and powerful.
Yeah, it's so important to me. It's like vital. Cause I'm like, yo, if your head's not right, nothing's right. So there was a study that the FDA was about to approve this Alzheimer's drug. So it's like now motherfuckers is gonna be able to keep their fucking mind when they're older and shit. It's not just turning to mush. I was like, oh, that's some shit. Like and then I go, anytime I read some shit like that, I'm like, let me see who's the pharmaceutical people that got this shit. And I seen Biogen on that shit. I was like, this shit about to skyrocket. That shit went up $12 and that went, you feel that
exactly.
shit? I was just like, and I just like, I want to put people on. I want to tell people just to tell them and just be like, yo, if you take these steps to like buy these contracts the same way you do and shit,
invest.
Yo,
invest in yourself, bet on it, but you got to do the work. It's important to learn the charts and stuff like that. I mean, it's just important for yourself to learn.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because let's say one day somebody's having an off day and you actually are on the money. You're going to put your money into that person's, call out, or you're going to put it into yours. And I learned that way. Like, that's how I bank on myself. Sometimes I win, sometimes I don't.
I did the same shit with me. Like, I went and there was a point in time, because I was in a group. And I would go and somebody would recommend something. I go and it triggers something. I was like, oh, okay, motherfuckers, like, they might have done something. And so they know some shit. I go, I throw some, like, I buy 2 contracts and that shit goes down $500. I go, and I told myself, that's when I was mad. I was like, yo, you said you was going to stop this shit. You said you was only going to listen to you.
That and also patience.
Yeah. Because some things are for you and some things aren't.
Yeah, like recently this week, I had a call on something. I think it was Google, and I was down. And then that shit went up crazy, and I got my money back. And then I went into SPY like an asshole because you just like to. I should have just walked away, but shit happens,
It be like that.
It happens, but I suggest people looking into different ways of investing, and it's important to learn that because there's a reason why we wasn't taught in school about finance and stocks. And other people know about it.
Why you say that? What's the
reason?
It
has to be a reason.
Oh, okay, it's just
we like. I feel like personally, we're natural born hustlers. We get it. Mm-hmm. It didn't take, but a week for me to be like, oh, that's what you said. That's how you read a chart. Perfect. Boom, 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 boom.
You connect the dots quick.
Like, our mentality is different.
Absolutely.
Some of us. I'm not saying all of us, but some of us. Our mind is we get it. I can't
we're
explain
wired.
it.
We're wired.
It's just wired that way. So it's just you get it.
Are you a person that likes to learn a lot?
Of course.
That's what it is. It's like you like to spark your brain and shit.
All the time.
That's the shit that kind of like. Are you like interested in a lot of bullshit?
Everything.
You see, like, so those are the kind of things that kind of like your curiosity just takes over.
Yeah.
So you go, oh, and if he feels like it's gonna help you out in something in the long run or anything. You're gonna flock to it and you're gonna gravitate to it.
Oh, you can't do that. Oh, like stocks? No, it's too hard. That stuff. You guys won't know that because I heard that in college. Stocks? Oh, you guys won't. That's not. Yeah, you're not on that level yet. Excuse me. There are 15-year-olds in here. When I come into the party, it's 15-year-olds in here. What you talking about?
For real.
But they only try to dumb you down just to have a 9 to 5. You don't need to have a 9 to 5. You can have a part-time job. And do stocks and be fine.
Exactly.
You could do a lot of things,
The thing that's
have your own business.
The most valuable shit is our time. Our fucking time. So like if you go and you're financially free and shit, you get your time back, it's a wrap.
Financial freedom is definitely one of the biggest things right now for me.
Because then with that financial freedom, with that time, then I could hoop more and I could get as nice as you. Yeah. Like, let's talk about it.
I'm still nice. I'm still nice.
I'm on my shit too. Look, let's talk about Puerto Rican Jay.
All right, so
Puerto Rico basketball Jay.
That was a great experience. I was actually a waitress when I got the call. I graduated from college.
What college you graduated from?
Emmanuel College in Boston.
All right, congratulations on that.
Division III school. So I honestly wasn't really thinking about pro ball. When you are in Division III, we already know the politics. Mm-hmm. So it's one of those things like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to go that far. But, hey, I could probably join a league, whatever. And that was, one of those, my biggest heartache because I'm like, I got to work now. You know what I'm saying? I worked so hard to get out of here, and I got to work. Yeah, I got to work. But it was cool because the job I had as a waitress, I was making money. I was in Long Island at the time. I was bringing home almost a rack a night. Just waitressing.
Damn.
No, this is a real high end on the beach type of restaurant. So it was
okay.
They were spending money there. One of the appetizers is $100. It was that. So I was like, I'm gonna do this.
And it was like
I'm gonna do this and figure it out.
It was one fucking shrimp on the fork. It was like, it's a fucking aphrodisiac and shit for white people.
It's called menage a trois. It was 3 types of different seafood. It was a whole.
It's a thing, yeah. But that's nice. Neither here nor there.
But anyways, so I got the call. I was I was sleeping on the floor, grinding, and I get a call from my coach I got these 2 Spanish guys. They want you to go to Puerto Rico. I'm like, what kind of scam is this? And I'm like, what do you? He's like, I don't understand them. You have to call them. And I'm like, all right, cool. I called them. My mom gets on the phone. She's talking to them. And she's like, holy shit, they want you to play basketball. They came out here and they saw you. So I'm like, all right, let's do it. So that happened on Wednesday. I was out by Friday. And I went out there, played a game, and then it was written. I was signed. My mom was basically my manager, my sports agent.
She was your agent and shit.
She was fretting.
She was like, yo, so what's up? She was
fretting, but she was laying it down. I played there for 3 years. And then I would say, I think it was my second year, we were the number 1 team.
Dope. How many teams were in the league?
I would say a good 10, probably.
That's good. That's
good.
Yeah,
it was decent. Yeah, it was a good 10 teams. I was surprised out there for the talent. They were very rough compared to I know street ball out here is rough. We rough, but it's a different type of rough. It's like almost like street ball. It's like jail ball. Like it's like one of those. Boom.
Like toma.
Yeah, like my teammate, she didn't. I'm a native, and I came in there and I started getting paid more. I don't really know how to speak Spanish. I know to read it, write it, and everything else, but speaking it, I mess up.
Like what? Let me hear something.
No. Right. So I messed it up. Right?
She said, nah.
Because you speak Spanish, bro. So
I'm a bad person. I'm sorry. I was like, ooh, I found a weakness. I found a weakness, a chink in the armor.
I lived there for 3 years. It started to come. It started to come out.
Exactly.
It was a little bit of French and Spanish at the same time.
Oh, okay.
So, but when I started playing pro ball, like it was a great experience because my coach was the coach for the Olympic team.
Oh shit.
Puerto Rico. So Omar, he gave me a lot of knowledge. He upped my game. I thought I was nice. You know, you think you go to pro ball, you nice. You can't tell me what to do. Nah, he checked me. Why you keep doing this? Why you keep doing that? Do this, this. But he taught me, and then I had got an offer to play with them, but I also didn't want to leave my team. One is paying me, and I guess what? I got an apartment. I got bills. I'm helping my mom, or just playing the Olympics. I didn't know what to do, so I couldn't leave my team like that in the finals to go play with them. I never got that opportunity again, but it was just nice to know that they even wanted me on the team. So that was good enough for me.
That's what's up.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It was good enough for me. And then, what else? You know, I've had some crazy experiences with pro ball though, like as far as like the management, but overall it was a great experience. Like, I can't really talk bad about it. I wish I could still do it now.
I hear that. What was your your best game that you ever played out in that league?
My best game caused me to get investigated. I had the record.
They had you.
I believe it was 11 3-pointers in a game. Woo. So I held that record for a minute. I don't know if I still have it, but I had a lot of 3-pointers in the game or something like that. I had a really good game. I had a lot of really good games, but I had a really good game against a team. And then they started.
Played against? Who was the rival team?
Juncos. And that's on the opposite side of Puerto Rico. And they were legit. Like they were champions like for 5 years in a row. They was undefeated. So we came from Maya West, and Maya West was my first year was their first year as a team. The town had a team.
Oh, so that was the expansion team right there?
Yeah.
Okay.
So when Maya West, made their team, they was like, we gonna make a all-star team. They got 3 Americans because when you play in Puerto Rico, you only allowed 2 Americans on your team. I believe
that's a good rule. That's a good
2
rule.
Americans, and then I think you can have a native on the team. If they're American and they're native of that country, then they could play.
Okay.
So I was able to play. So they really had 3 Americans. And that's what some of the girls actually were kind of jealous about.
On some tight shit. I hear it. Now go ahead.
So I'm like, it was a lot of animosity at first, but then like we grew up to like love each other. But it's just one of those things. It's like you come from America and you think you're gonna.
Yeah, they think you on some snobby shit.
Yeah, it's nothing like that. I'm actually better than you, but it's like. Like it was just.
He goes, hold on. He goes, hold on. He goes, I'm legit though.
You guys called me here.
You can fuck with me.
No, like I'm legit. That's how I felt. It was.
You felt like Michael Jordan reaching the hole in Space Jam and they sucked you through the whole shit. Like we need you,
bro. It was bad. I was scared of my teammates. I'm like, girl, I feel like they don't want me on this team. Like I don't understand.
I'm sure they didn't.
But it was just more so the whole native thing, and it's like you're Spanish and you don't speak Spanish and all this other stuff. I'm like, my family's here. When they seen all that type of stuff, then it was like, oh, okay. But then I had other teams saying that I was Dominican. I was a native of Dominican Republic. So they put it in the newspapers all through. I woke up to a barrage of different newspapers talking about I was a Dominican, I'm a fraud. They were
giving you mad props, yo. Mad props. Because I like Dominicans lit too.
I was not ready for that.
Bro. I hear that. Yo, Jay, we're going to come back to that after this little brief message. We're going to go back on the Let's Excel show right after this. You're... So guys, welcome to the Let's Excel show again. Back at it again with my homie Jade and shit, and we out here talking about her balling career, out here stunting on them, putting on the map and shit.
Right.
Talk
all
about
those times, all those early mornings.
And they talk about your they talk about your birthday shit.
So they thought I was Dominican.
They thought he was Dominican. Awesome.
Yeah. Right. Whatever. It didn't matter to me.
It didn't matter because that's awesome.
Get me out of newspapers.
We both out here like Puerto Ricans and Dominicans. Look at the love. Look at the love.
My good friends are Dominicans.
And my good friends are Dominican too. That know Puerto Ricans.
I'm half Puerto Rican.
No, you out here. And Ecuadorian too. Yo.
But yeah, so they investigated me. I couldn't play a game or two, whatever. Then they, got my paperwork, and I was back on the field.
And you was out here, and then you was out here with a vengeance, I'm sure.
Yeah. Then the owner of the team, like my third year, he did some foul shit. Like he did some foul stuff with the team and fines. So I never went back. They ended up pulling the team from him.
Damn.
And we was a good ass team, man. It was the terrible thing to watch. It was a heartache. But I was like, I need to come back home anyways and work. Like I need to. I'm good with this. I already got it out my system. Kind of like that's how I felt. I wanted to expand more as a person.
That must have felt good though, cause you were fixated on ball.
Oh dear.
Like as kid, I was
fixated on ball.
Man, like I'm telling you,
I tell people this. I lived my dream. I lived my life already. This is my second chance around the sun. Some people don't get to live their dream. I did.
Look at that shit.
I did for 3 years. A lot of people live it for 20 years. That's however they want it to be, but not me. I love ball, but at the time I grew as a person, and those networks and those things. I just wanted more. I wanted to own a team. I wanted to have the say so about like who gets what,
who's here, who's not.
It was more like business. It was more like my level of thinking was up there.
Nah, that's a dope. That's when when you elevate it. When you elevate it onto some other shit, like that's different.
Yeah, and I really wanted to come back home, get money up, and all that type of stuff to like have scholarships in my school. But things are hard.
Yeah.
So right now, like that's just what I'm trying to do is just build myself back up.
Yo, and you building yourself up dopely because like you have your clothing line and shit that I'm here like, yo, your shit is fire. Sunny NYC out
Sunny
here,
NYC.
like, yo,
check that out on Instagram.
I click the link all the time. she told me to hit the link, like I never touched it. I was like, yo, I'm about to square up with you.
Bro, I can see
my Twitter fingers is strong. Like you have no idea.
Until the other day, I could view who views my site.
That's crazy.
As soon as you click onto my site, it comes up the name and all.
Oh.
Location. Well, not the name, the location where you at. Like the other day was like Florida. I get Saudi Arabia. It's like one of those things I'm like, ooh. Like I'm getting looks, but Sunny came out of the pandemic.
Okay.
I wasn't doing any type of drawing. I drew when I was younger, but I wasn't drawing on like that. And when we had the pandemic, you couldn't go outside. You couldn't do anything. And I didn't want to. I didn't want to be around people, to be honest. But I was going through a rough time period in my life. And that's how I would just go in my shed and draw and start painting. And she came about that way. At one day at work, I was just doodling. She was done with a pen, a blue and black pen, and 3 highlighters, pink, yellow, and blue. Literally. This character right here.
That's not, like I go and like I said.
So the original picture is different. It looks like she actually has an aura around her because of the blue ink and all that type of stuff. Like if you go onto my IG, you can see the picture. But she has like an aura around her. I couldn't do that when you transferring, when you're doing that on clothing. You can't really show that.
I can't pull up.
But I could show it digitally.
Like I go and like I was like, this is an awesome ass like logo because I like it kind of like, you know what it does? It connects me, like first it connects me to nature because I love sunflowers is a beautiful flower.
Sunflowers represent loyalty.
It's a beauty.
They're loyal.
Look at that shit. Like I go and I'm like, I look at a sunflower, I go, yo, how can you look at that flower and not have a good day? Right. Like, because I was like, that flower is just like, it's so like, it stands out so hard. And then secondly, motherfuckers, David sunflower seeds. I go, yo, like as kids, yo, you out here like.
No, listen. I started enjoying her, and then I went into the gardening field. Like I literally grew sunflowers with hands, and like I experienced a certain growth during the pandemic that I pray many people do, because like I literally touched on so many different things in that field, that I was just like, I'm learning about all this shit, like flowers, and literally like learning, like I'm doing this. I don't know why, but I feel like compelled to do it. And then this came about.
Yo, so like when you're out here, like how did you self-analyze yourself?
Writing.
Like writing.
Right.
So what did you say? What did you say about yourself?
Everything, the truth.
No, talk about, like, I want to know, what do you talk about you? Like I want to hear it.
When I'm talking about myself, you suck sometimes.
Okay.
Get up. Stop making excuses. Do it. Just try. Just do it. It's not gonna hurt. Like, it's just little things like that. I battle with myself because sometimes it's just that doubt. Like, I don't know if he's gonna go that far. You just, self-sabotage. That's always.
That's a thing, especially.
And now, I don't feel that way. Like I've written that. I've actually been to therapy, to just learn about why why I think the things like I'm thinking about not gonna go far or anything like that. Like, why do I have this self-doubt about myself? So then you find out from childhood, just for like your own expectations, and you just thinking too hard. Like we get too hard on ourselves.
Like you was overthinking.
Overthinking a lot. You know. And as growing up, I like procrastinated a lot with a lot of things. So that was one of my biggest things. And like now it's like I don't want to procrastinate. When I need to do something, I'm doing it all day, every day. Like that's it. I'm not gonna wait. And it took a long time for me to get there, like a long time, because we self-pity a lot, And I was actually going through a very difficult time in my life. I lost my dad. I lost my cousin. Those rocked my world, but it was like I gotta keep shining for them. I gotta keep putting us on the map, like Pious Kids on the map. So it's like I gotta keep on doing it. So I had to bring myself to therapy and talking about certain things from our childhood, that I didn't think that would affect me, but it did. Growing up, seeing those type of things with my mom and putting that expectation of myself, that big, expectation of you are the one to take them out the hood. I still think that way. I still think like I'm the oldest. I'm the one that's gonna get my mother the house, get my siblings where they need to go. But they are also adults and they also have their own journey. Just help them, you guide them. So I had to learn that. But growing up in our, how we grow up is family or nothing.
Yeah. And
we take care of family. Family is first.
And you know what it is too, is especially like with siblings and stuff, like it's like I don't believe your words until I see it. Like, seeing is believing. So they go and they're
like, "Girl, you pay pro bowl."
It goes, all right. It goes, you could talk your shit because you're doing something different,
And then now it's like, with my family, I was paying pro ball, and it's like, all right, now I'm not paying pro ball. My sister had been telling me, you should do clothing. You have great ideas. You should do it. And I was like, I'm not even into that. And I have a best friend who's a creative director who does designing and stuff like that. And being around him sparked my mind. Because I just remember me and him bouncing off ideas and him actually like considering my ideas for someone who has such a celebrity status that he did. So it was like one of those things that was great, because like being able to chop it up with him, you just feel like, oh, I'm accepted. Like I could be in this field. Like I could do this.
You want some shit?
He's asking me my opinion, So it's one of those things when I have a ton of people ask me for my opinions on a constant basis. Sometimes I think people think I'm a therapist. I don't know why. On IG. But,
I never hit you with some shit like that, right?
She could tell you, bro. I'm telling you, people think I'm a therapist. But
go ahead. You should charge people per text, per DM.
What I realize is just that people need a community where people feel safe.
People want to talk to people
and feel safe. Like y'all could talk to you, and it's not gonna be on Front Street.
Exactly. Yo, you know what it is? Like that shit. Like people value people that it lives and dies with you.
Right.
Like some people. There was a time like I went to a holiday party and people hit me with 3 traumatic things about themselves. And I haven't seen these motherfuckers in years. And I go, dope. I was like, great. I said, I thought I was just gonna get drunk and dance. I said, but I'm out here listening to crazy stories.
No,
and I'm like,
people going
and
through
then
it.
you go and I'm like, fuck it, I'm here for it. Like I go, I'll put your bag on the shoulder too. Like fuck it, cause like I'm used to it. Like I go and I'm like, yo, I put all that shit on my back, but I soldier on. I soldier on, cause it's like that's how we're built.
Yeah, that's how I think we've seen the wildest things in our childhood, in our community. But growing up in our community, that's the reason why we are the way we are.
Exactly.
It's the reason why we circle back here.
Yeah, and you know what like that kind of like it kind of ties into your logo, because it's sunny, because it's like even with all this darkness,
oh yeah,
you're always thinking about the bright side.
There's always
going to be a sunny day.
Something. Like I didn't when I was drawing and then I started painting, I was doing paintings for people paying me to paint for them, and I'm like, yo, I don't even consider myself like an artist, but people are like, yo, you're fire. Like I just did graffiti because my cousin Ricky used to do graffiti.
I remember Ricky. Shout out Ricky.
Hobby.
Shout out Brandon. Right?
Kathy, it was a hobby,
all the motherfuckers.
and I turned a hobby into something beautiful.
That's dope.
Yeah. So with Sunny, it's just not gonna be a brand, but it's like more like a movement. I want people to not just wear the clothes and feel good in the clothes, but like, yo, join the forum that's on there.
Yeah.
Let's talk, because if you want to see something on there, if you want to see, listen, we all vessels, right? So if you want to see something that you want to see, let me know. I'll put it on there. Maybe we could collab. I'm collabing with somebody right now, in the works of trying to do something with Sunny. Like, if you see it, if it's inspiring and you want to join, let's do it. That's what I'm here for. That's the whole point. Like, I'm trying to build a community where it's not even a community. I want a tribe, like it takes a village.
Yeah.
And right now, I'm tired of the gaga boom, all that type of stuff, like that rough energy and tough love. I grew up on tough love.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's not necessary. Like we need people to talk to. Like it's okay. Like, like I think that's the reason why I built this brand, because she brought me out of a dark place. I started doing stuff. I was in a shed in the dark, bro, drawing like a fucking like hermit. Like I was going through it at that time. But I was joining this and it was making me happy.
That's awesome.
You know what I'm saying? Like
That's
it was
awesome.
the only thing that was like, I feel accomplished, because my job, it was just too much. I became a boss of a certain group, firing people and telling people what to do. I don't mind doing it, but I really don't. I like people to do their own thing, and my job was overwhelming with a lot of work, and then I was working like 12-hour shifts.
Oh, that's nasty. That work-life balance is fucking key in life. Cause I was like, that's the kind of shit that like opened up with the pandemic and shit as well. Like so many things, like there's so many negatives with it, but they were positives. The pandemic
opened my eyes to a lot of things in my job that I was taking.
Not only your job, but your life. Yeah. So then like it did the same thing for myself. Like I go and like, that's when I went and like I was getting like, getting paid, and then I was able to self-analyze. And I was like, yo, what are you trying to do with yourself? What are you trying to do? What's going on? And I was like, yo, I'm really good at talking with my people. Right. I'm really good at talking to people. And I'm here like, I go, yo, why not broadcast it to people? Why not put that shit out there? Like that energy that you give to people, give that shit to everybody else.
Yeah, right.
And I was like, yo, we're out here. I was like, yo, Steve. Like I go and we collab. Like I go, I talk to Steve, and I was like, yo, we out. We doing this shit. And he was like, yo, we out. And then like our journey makes me smile.
Right.
Cause we out here, like we had a fucking stupid ass like little wired mic that I connected to my phone.
Man, listen, it started
from this shit, and then look at this shit. I got a sticker on my fucking thermos.
Got this, got that. It's working.
It's working.
It's working. It's little by little, but it's important to build with your people.
Exactly. And like just talking about logos and shit, like how your shit is sunny and you're thinking about, sunny times, like, and like all the words that you use on your clothing matter. Right. Manifest.
Matter. The descriptions. Read the descriptions, y'all.
Like everything.
I don't think people ever realize that my descriptions are really what I'm trying to say.
That's the part. Clothing. That's the part that matters, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So read my descriptions, and then you'll get a taste of what I'm trying to do.
I hear that shit.
People don't overlook. They overlook that stuff. They just see the picture, and it's just like, I'm just gonna wear this.
Yo,
Go
All
ahead.
right, so then like I'm gonna just
Yeah.
tie in my shit, and then we're gonna tie in
Yeah.
your shit right now. So like I go and like for instance, like you see how you were doodling and shit, and you were drawing your shit, and I'm like, your shit came out fire. So then I went and we were talking about our logo, and I was like, we were talking about Let's Excel, and I was like, all right, what the fuck we gonna do? All of a sudden, like, just shit came to me, and then the street sign came out.
Perfect.
And then, bam, Let's Excel. Like, that shit was there.
I saw it and I was like, this is perfect. Like Jackson, I was like, this is perfect. Because I wanted to do a logo like that with Sunny on a shirt. Like, having that, because I wanted her to represent the Bronx. Like, you know, like, just...
It feels street. It feels us.
Yeah,
it feels like us. So I was like, yo, that shit hit me on so different levels. And, like, the way, like, how I drew it in the beginning, that shit looked like a peace sign. And I was like... I'm about that shit. Like, yeah, I want like people. Like, if the people were fighting, I want it to be professional fighters. I want to be UFC fighters and boxers. Right. I was like the people that know what they're doing. I want them to fight. I don't want us to fight.
Right.
So there was that, and then my brother and my boy, they said, yo, it's kind of dope that your logo is like a street sign because it's like it's the intersection for something like positivity.
Right.
And like where things are like manifesting into good things.
Right.
And I was like, yo, I didn't even think about it that way. But y'all opened my eyes to that. And I'm like, that shit hit me to my, because I'm like, I want that. I want that for my people. Like everybody that come over here, I want them to feel good. I want them to talk about their good shit. I want to talk about their bad shit, but how they came out of that bad shit to make it good.
Oh, what you're trying to do to come out of it.
Yeah, exactly. Oh. What are we trying to do to make you better?
And are you open to changing? Because that's the main thing right there.
Exactly.
People are not open to anything.
People are not trying to.
Some people.
People are like, yeah. People are trying to like think that it's not okay to like hear that sometimes your shit ain't okay. Yeah. Sometimes your shit ain't okay. But it's like it's okay that you feel that way. But we gotta like we could like maneuver that shit. You're clay. We're all clay at the end of the day.
We all need some molding.
We all need a mold. But yo, show off the hoodie though. I need to see that.
So this is the manifest hoodie right here.
Yo, I love this shit. This shit is stitched, guys. It's not no sticker.
She was established during the pandemic 2020. Sunny there. And then you got Sunny on the back. Nice and thick. These are out. I actually fixed this in the back to be a little darker so you can actually see her. But yeah, stitching.
Right there.
This is a hoodie that's embroidered, but I have a manifest hoodie series. Yeah. So the manifest hoodie series is basically what you're manifesting, and I actually want people to like participate. So it's one of those things like if you have whatever you're manifesting, whether it be success, I need you to tell me if you want to see it on the sweatshirt. I'll put it on there for you. So I have people tell me like love, wealth, and I think the other one I had was what? Wealth, health.
This is where you come in.
Health.
Hey,
something like that.
See,
it's something like that. But I have a series of different hoodies.
You got us.
It's actually success. So I have a green hoodie that says wealth. That stands for itself. Money, green. Success is gray with the yellow. And then I have love. You know, pink hoodie, red lettering. But that's a part of the hoodie series. That's the whole point of that. It's what we're manifesting. So manifest love, health, wealth, anything you could possibly think of. Ambition, a love life. I want people. That's the whole point. When we buy clothes, we don't ask questions. We it's come out lately, like the whole Balenciaga thing. We wearing Balenciagas and there's a whole pedophile behind it. The whole creative director behind it is not for like, it's for satanic shit. That's kind of weird. For me, like, and I'm all for weird because I'm weird too. But it's like, you know, I rather know what I'm wearing.
What are you repping?
What am I repping?
Yeah, what are you on your
Who's this person I'm repping? Because you're putting them on the map, and guess what? It's gonna feed everybody else, and then we all fall in line. Jordans, everybody wears Jordans. Everybody. We don't know shit about Jordan.
I seen the Last Dance. It's just one of those things. I seen greatness. I seen greatness.
People are dying over clothing that they don't even know what it stands for.
You know what's crazy? Like whatever. Like,
I would die for my dignity.
Foremost,
I'm not dying of it. You know, it's one. That's what I'm saying. It's one of those things. Like we got to question ourselves. What are we wearing?
Absolutely. And I go and I'm like, yo, I go and I love your message. So it was like, yo, not only do I love you as a friend, I'm like, I love you as a spirit,
too, bro.
Yo, thank you. Yo, shit.
Always.
Yo, these tears are like in there. They're coming.
I think I spoke you up because I was talking to her about my childhood, and I was talking about this one time me and Julio had a fight because he hit Louis.
Okay.
And it was bad, right? Me and him had a big gun. I was like, we're not friends anymore. And I was like, but I never know what happened to me and Excel. Like me and Excel was shit. Like I don't know what happened. But we just grow apart. Like, you know, it's a thing, right? It's just a thing that happens.
And it's like,
but it makes sense now.
It's a thing that, like, you know, like it still don't make no sense to me, but
it makes sense to me.
No. We could talk about it. Cause it's like, all right, well, it does and it doesn't. Cause it's like, yo, like we're people. People do things and they go in their lanes and shit. And I'm here like, yo, at the end of the day, I'm like, yo, but you're family. We're all family and shit. So that shit, I was like, it kind of like, you know, like, what's that shit? Like, time apart makes the heart grow fonder and shit. So it was like, I go and I was like, yo, my homie Jay's doing some shit. Like, I was like, I need to see what's up. Yeah. Like, I need to see what's up. And not only you, it's like, I'm like connected to your family. Yeah. Like,
my brothers.
Your brothers, your mother. Like, I'm connected with them and shit. Like, for better or for worse. Like, like that's what it is. Like, we're out here and like all of you guys matter to me.
Right.
So like that shit, like it just like, if anything were to happen to y'all, like I'd lose it.
Right.
You know? So
that's
exactly
the death of my cousin and numerous people that died in our neighborhood.
Yeah.
Recently.
So all
rest in peace, Kiko.
Yeah, all that. Yo, that was
tragic.
Wild. Yeah.
But losing all those people definitely opened my eyes, and I just thought back to my child. Like, what made me happy? When I was happy, what was I doing?
You know what was funny and shit?
It was when we was waking up early in the morning. You probably was there too, but Carlos, Manny, and them playing ball early in the morning. We used to run drills. OD. Like. That's what I have.
Yo, you know, you like. I don't even like. I definitely know you don't think this shit. You don't remember this shit. This is one of the things that like
test me.
You don't remember this shit.
Test me.
I'll test you. So there was like in fucking elementary school. We was in 4th grade. We was in Kevin and Mr. Burns' class. Mr. Burns, Mr. Burns,
I think he's still teaching there. He may have retired, but I'm not sure. He was substitute teaching when I was.
You know what's funny? My older brother, he goes and he was talking about Mr. Bywater.
Mr. Bywater.
And he was like, yo, and
he retired too.
Oh, he retired too? The motherfuckers need hugs. They need hugs. Cause like
Florida chilling right now probably.
Yo,
they were still awesome though.
They're missed because they're real ones. They were real ones.
They were real.
So then so in elementary school, I used to get harassed by all the girls in the class every day.
Yeah.
Like I would get chased. All the time. You were one of the people that held me down. So one time I went and I jumped off one of the fucking like the playground things and I landed fucked up and I was like on the ground like So that you went and you checked on me and then one of the girls was like, yo, you guys are like different. Y'all like made for each other. Like y'all made for each other and shit. I'm there like, I'm dead.
This is my best friend.
I was like, this is my niggas and shit. And then I was like, yo,
we did everything together in junior high school.
All that time.
Me, you, and Julio.
Yes.
We literally did everything together. We ate together, walked to class together. You know.
Yo, all that shit. And I'm like, that shit. Like, I go and I'm like, yo, like. I love highlighting my people, and when they're doing great shit, like I'm like, these motherfuckers need to be heard, and they need to hear your story, even if it's some wild shit or some, dope shit or it's some shit that is like you in the mud and you out of it.
Yeah, no,
we got to talk about it.
We grew up in a rough neighborhood. I don't think people realize that. I realized that once I got out of it. I was like, woof. When I moved to Long Island, I was like, thank God. The air is different out here.
Yeah.
But then I hated the people.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're dark, how the hell you in Long Island? How you affording it? Oh, you must be a drug dealer. No, actually, I work for a real estate law firm. Thank you.
Whole lot.
But I got harassed by the cops daily.
That's wild.
Wild. It was wild.
Like there was.
Long Island sometimes.
I hear that shit. Like and that shit didn't stop you. That's the thing. That's the best part of it. Cause it's like, okay, you ate that shit and you doing your shit. Like there was a time I was in DR, and some girl from Germany heard that me and this other dude were from New York, but I'm from the Bronx and he's from Long Island. And the girl goes, "Oh, you guys are both from New York. What talk about?" And I said, "No, we're from New York." I said, "But he's not from my New York." I said, "Our lives are totally different." Staten Island. I said, "Our lives are totally different."
Staten Island.
I ain't hating on him, but it ain't it.
Yeah, no.
And I go, like, we're out here.
It's different.
Yeah, and I go, different. My life is different than his life. Like,
you don't know how different it is?
Talk about how different that shit is.
They get a calendar. Well, actually, not even a calendar. They get a paper ship mailed to their house with a menu of what they're gonna eat during the week. We got.
and we got school lunch in summer on the summer.
But I'm talking about, you had a choice. Like kids got to know, like, oh yeah, Thursday we're about to eat some, like, a casserole, and like the lunch is different.
Yeah,
it's way different. Like, everything's different. The schooling, everything.
Everything's different, and it's like, yo, we're here together. Like, I'm not judging you, not judging me. I'm just telling you that our experience.
I'm trying to elevate the Bronx.
Our experiences are different.
Right.
And I'm like, yo, we persevere for that shit, and we're here in the same spot. Mm-hmm. Can't tell me nothing.
Nothing.
Can't tell us nothing, because we real shit. We on some real shit over here.
Bro.
And I'm like, yo, everything that like signifies us and that like shows us is like that shit brings like a fucking twinkle to my eye.
Yeah, no,
I'm
we
like,
represent goodness over here.
Exactly. Like our people are doing our thing, and we're gonna keep continuing doing our thing for them, because they need us, we need them.
Unfortunately, we are the superheroes.
No capes, just fucking fitteds and
and some Timbs. Don't forget it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm here for it. I'm here for the podcast. I told you when we was talking about it, I'm like, that's a great idea, because we gotta talk. That's the main thing. We don't talk.
We don't talk, and we don't talk about things that matter. That's the kind of shit that kind of like.
People also think that they're going through things alone. Like, they're the only person in this world that goes through like one. Like, man, we all go through this. Like, if you think like, oh yeah, I had this experience, I don't think the other person will have the same experience. They did.
Yeah.
It's important to realize that you're not in this alone. So that's why my whole Sunny brand came about. I had to do something.
And like, you did something awesome. That's the shit. Like,
shit is helping me.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we're all like, you did something awesome.
I told myself how to do a website. I told myself how to do a website. I didn't know how to do a website. You gotta want it.
Exactly. So you gotta take the steps.
Yeah.
The steps is what matters. It's like, it doesn't matter how big or how small the step is. It's a step.
It's a step.
Exactly. Like, this shit. Like, I'm telling you, we were in the living room with the fucking mic connected to the collar, and we were exactly. And we were like, yeah.
But you know what happens? It sells. I would say authenticity sells.
Exactly. Real shit. Real rap raw.
What is that group that goes, the bing bong, those kids that go out
Side talk?
Yeah, they're mad stuff. But we went into the San Gennaro Feast and we saw them in there with the Spider-Man and everything. It's just the genuineness. It's just like, yo, we out here.
This shit is fun. Like, New York energy is a different energy. Yeah, you ain't got to talk about it. Like, and this is like, it's not even like it's not even like fabricated. It's just like, that's how we're built. When we're built this way, it's like, there's nothing that can say that you're like faking it, moving different or some shit. You're just moving.
Right.
You move, and if people fuck with it, people fuck with it. If they don't, then that's okay too. Everything's okay. It's just like, yo.
That's the thing. That's the whole message. Everything's it's gonna be okay. Like, you just find your lane.
Find your lane and make it work for you. That's what I'm saying. And I'm like, I talk a lot of shit. I was like, is this gonna work for me? And I was like, yo, I think with my people,
it is.
Like, out here, like, on our side,
you gotta say to yourself, it's gonna work, because you're doing it.
It definitely is.
You're putting in the effort, bro.
No, the work is the work
because you're doing it.
And the shit is the work. The work feels good. So that's what makes that's what makes it feel good. If it didn't feel like real, if it didn't feel like it was me, like,
I'm not doing it.
Yeah, it's like, okay. Exactly. So we're on that time that is like, yo, it's now or never, but it's really just now and now.
It's now.
Because it's just now. It's like, but like, I can't think about anything else, because this is what matters now. And this is what matters in the future. This is what's going to matter in the future's future.
Yeah, right. Exactly. I agree.
Yo,
I agree with that, bro.
JD.
Thank you.
We out here, yo.
We out
We
here.
out here. Yo,
We out here.
thank
We gonna
you.
be out here.
Yo, you gonna be on this shit again?
Of course, I'll be here.
The therapy session worked.
Yeah.
Yo, guys, Lex
It
XL show
worked.
out
It
here.
worked. Lex
Jade
XL.
Lia.
Tune in.
We out here.
Sunny, tune in.
Ah!